I bought this Cronos Flieger with three goals in mind. First, to get an everyday style watch. Second, to replace the void left by my Citizen that I sold. And third, to see what AliExpress big brands like Cronos and San Martin can do for the money. How did it do? Well, stick around to find out. Hi, my name is Travis, and I've started Timescribe, as the name suggests, with the intention of documenting my journey with watches. I'm going to be doing reviews, guides, and giving you my honest thoughts around various topics and subjects concerning affordable watches and affordable watch collecting. If you're interested in joining me, then give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell icon. It will really help Timescribe get the boost it needs, and it will help you to get to know when I release new videos. Alright, time to get into this watch. According to the LGY watch store on AliExpress, where this watch was purchased for just under $160 in the previous 11/11 sale, this is the Cronos Pilot Flieger Mechanical men's 39mm watch, or, to you and me, the Cronos IWC Mark 18 Le Petit Prince homage. Both names are wordy and complicated, but luckily the watch isn't. It's a very simple Type A Flieger. Now, for those of you who don't know, the word Flieger means pilot in German. In 1941, about 1,200 watches with this styling were made to be used by pilots and navigators in the Luftwaffe, the aerial warfare branch of the German Wehrmacht. Designed with ultimate legibility in mind, the dials were made in two variations: the more technical Type B dial, showcasing large numerals with 5-minute intervals, and smaller hour numerals, and the simpler Type A dial present here, with only the hour numerals visible. Both variations had printed minute markings on the outer ring of the dial, the now famous triangle marker denoting the 12 o'clock position, as well as sword-style hour and minute hands and a needle second hand. The watches were also loomed to be legible even in the dark. As mentioned, this is a classic example of a Type A Flieger. It has the triangular marker at 12 o'clock, the printed and loomed numerals denoting the hours, and the loom-filled sword-style hands. The printing on the dial and the finishing of the hands on the Cronos are done exceptionally well, but the loom doesn't stack up. Then again, this doesn't need to be loomed like a diver. It does its job reasonably well, and it is visible for a while after dark. The Cronos does deviate from the original design in a few ways. First is the dial color and finish. The original Flieger watches donned a matte black dial, again for supreme legibility, while the Cronos features a very dynamic blue dial with the sunray finish. The second deviation is the date window on the Cronos. While being quite practical, it does detract from the legibility, and so was omitted from the original designs. The third deviation is the addition of text on the dial. Luckily, there isn't too much text here, with only the Cronos logo, name, and automatic printed on in a rather discreet size, which I appreciate. The fourth deviation takes us out of the dial and onto the case. The original Fliegers had massive cases, huge crowns, and was simply finished, all of which contrast starkly with what the Cronos offers. The dimensions of the Cronos are as follows. It has a 39mm wide case with a 48.8mm lug-to-lug length, a lug width of 20mm, and a case thickness of 12.4mm, including the domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective undercoating. A great addition at this price, I must say. On the leather strap, it only weighs in at 69 grams. These are great dimensions for an everyday watch, as it sits in that 38 to 40mm sweet spot. The case has a simple design with downturned lugs and a fixed bezel, but what really sets it off is the finishing. It's almost entirely brushed, with only the top of the bezel and a thin chamfered edge on the lugs being polished. These elements offer the subtle refinement that the original Fliegers lacked, and it makes the watch pop. The 6mm screw-down crown also features a polished finish, but still maintains a decent level of grip. The case back is sterile, with no text or graphics, but it is screwed down, and this enables the watch to have a useful 100 meters of water resistance. While you can't take it diving, you can take it into the pool. And that's something a pilot might want to do when not on the job. Or perhaps just for those spilled martinis, right? While the original Fliegers were massive to aid with legibility and ease of use with the crown, this case was designed with wearability in mind. It is just so comfortable, and it won't look out of place on just about any wrist, including my skinny 6¼ wrists. Speaking of comfort, the leather strap the watch comes with is one of the most comfortable leather straps I've ever used straight out of the box. It's so soft and pliable, and it molds to the wrist instantly. The slightly muted brown color of the leather with creamy contrasting stitching pairs well with the blue dial of the watch. On the underside, we see a bold orange color that I don't quite get, but it doesn't really bother me too much, as I only see it when taking the strap off. At first, I thought the strap was too boring, without any texture, but now I think that it works well with the watch. There is one bone of contention that I have with the strap though, and that is the buckle. It's a nicely cut and finished pin buckle, but I find that when my wrist swells later in the day, it can sometimes dig into my skin, causing a bit of discomfort. I will definitely change the buckle in the future. Although, with the 20mm lugs, there's no shortage of options to change out the strap entirely. I think this dial will work with a variety of colors, including a lighter brown, blue, and even olive green strap. I think that the grey works the best though. Now, let's finally talk about the movement. This watch is powered by the Hong Kong Precision Technology Caliber PT5000, or simply the PT5000. This is a Chinese clone of the revered ETA 2824-2. It's an automatic movement with a 38-hour power reserve. It features hacking, hand winding, and a quick-set day change. Like the ETA, it beats at 28,800 bph, or 4 Hz, which translates to 8 ticks per second. HK Precision claims that an unregulated PT5000 should have an accuracy rating within the plus-minus 12 seconds per day range. In fact, in 2018, a watch with the PT5000 was sent into the Glashütte Observatory in Germany, where it was stringently tested and managed to achieve chronometer status. This means that, with regulation, a watch bearing this movement should be able to achieve an accuracy of -4 to +6 seconds per day. The Cronos here is running at around about +3.5 seconds per day. A fantastic result, especially considering the price of this movement comes in at about $70. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The movement in my watch seems to have a little problem with the automatic winding mechanism. I've noticed that it doesn't function properly. I'm guessing as it isn't oiled correctly. I can hand wind the watch and the watch will last roughly 38 hours without wear before dying. And as long as I'm wearing the watch, it will continue ticking away. But after a week or so of regular wear, I'll put it down and by sometime the next day it will have stopped, well before the 38 hours have passed. I did message the representative at the LGY watch store using the AliExpress messaging system. And although our interaction was well mannered and the representative seemed friendly, I felt a reluctance to recognize the problem. In the end, I decided to keep the watch. I regret it now. I should have insisted that the watch be sent back and replaced, or at least that I be given a substantial discount. But alas, here it is, still in my possession. So, I told you at the start of this review that I bought this watch with 3 goals in mind. First, I wanted a new everyday watch. This has become my new daily driver, as it's so comfortable and good looking. In my last video, which you should definitely check out, I spoke about the Seiko SSA 303J1 being the most uncomfortable watch I've ever worn. This is the complete opposite. It is easily the most comfortable watch I've ever worn, although it might just have been eclipsed by a new number which I've just acquired. I'll keep that as a little bit of a surprise for a future video. Comment down below and see if you can guess what the new King of the Hill might be. Second, I wanted to fill the gap the Citizen Pilot's watch left. Has this become the pilot watch in my collection? Sort of. Let me explain. This is definitely a pilot's watch that I like, and it's one that I will always keep in my collection. But I just don't feel it's tickled that itch. I'm still pining for a black dial pilot's watch. Maybe one that is a bit more utilitarian. The dream would be the Oris Big Crown Pro Pilot, or the Stover Classic 40. I'm sure my girlfriend will be thrilled to hear that. Let's see how it goes. Third, I wanted to see just what top AliExpress watchmakers could do for the money. What do I think? Well, it's a mixed bag. I love the watch. I think it offers insane value for money at $200. It has fantastic specs, a level of finishing and attention to detail that you just won't find in bigger brands anywhere near this price. It also has an iconic design. Yes, it's a homage, and a rather blatant one at that. But it's a homage of a watch whose design is from the 1940s, where the brands were basically given a template and asked to create those exact watches. This must be one of the least offensive styles of homages out there. But for all the good things going for this watch, the issue with the movement sours it a bit, and the reluctance of the consultant to recognize the problem has put me in a spot of bother. Would I buy from them again? This is something I've been pondering over and over. But my answer is, surprisingly to me, yes. Now, would I recommend that you buy from AliExpress? Here my answer is probably yes. The issues I've had does seem to be something that not too many people have experienced, and I do think that if I had pursued proper recourse a bit more, I'd have arrived at a better outcome. I will just caveat my recommendation by saying that this can happen to you. It's not unheard of, but most people shopping at places like Cronos and San Martin, and now Season and Octopus Kraken, seem to be very happy with their purchases. And overall, so am I. Thanks for watching the review of the Cronos 39mm Flieger. Comment down below. What do you think of what used to be the most comfortable watch in my collection? What do you think just displaced it? And what have your experiences been shopping on AliExpress? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Timescribe, and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I release new videos. Alright, Have a good one. Bye.